Welcome back to the Africa Breakdown. I am average at best. I play Geoguessr and I make bad choices. Today we are looking at Kenya. Kenya drives are on the left hand side of the road and most of it is now Gen 4, a little bit of Gen 3 left over. Few different Google cars. In Gen 3 you'll typically see the roof rack and the snorkel. Snorkel is this thing on the right hand side. In Gen 4 you'll always have a large pickup truck. It'll be white or grey and it can be with or without a snorkel. If you see a snorkel and it's not Mongolia, then you have to be in Kenya. There's a couple of other cars in national parks, which you can learn later on if you want to. A lot of the coverage, you will have a Toyota follow car. Doesn't have police lights or anything, but a lot of places you will see this follow you. Kenya uses white front plates and yellow rear plates, as does Uganda, which is next to it. Safaricom is unique to Kenya. You'll see loads of these shops around. I don't know whether these names are particularly useful. I think probably they're tiny little township names rather than anything you'll see on a map. Kenya uses solid white outer lines and the inner lines will be yellow and either solid or dashed. Directional signs are green and they look a little bit like this. You'll see the road number and then the towns as well. And sometimes you'll see sort of red triangles, not very often, but they'll be of that style. Any sign like this along the side of the road, shop signs, street signs, things like that, will often have the county name. Super helpful to learn. I think there's 47 of them. Is that Kenya or is that Nigeria? I can't remember, but actually really helpful to learn. They don't show up on the map, so you have to kind of learn whereabouts they are. But even just knowing a few of them might be the ones that get you the points in duels or whatever. These kind of minibus vans we see a lot, similar to Uganda, but the pattern is different. It's yellow here. Uganda was blue. Eucalyptus trees you'll see a lot. They look like this, lots of leaves bunched together. You'll see them in other countries as well. Don't use that just for Kenya. Gen 3, sometimes the car isn't visible at all. And this is what you'll see, a big blur. Coverage wise is mostly kind of south-west and just very limited coverage to the north and the east, apart from this little bit here in Mombasa. Elevation wise, very much flat to the west and round to the north. As you come south and west, it gets more hilly and more elevation. Climate map, have a quick look at this. Humid, so very green around the southwest corner, west corner, and then more arid, semi-arid as we go further away to the north and the east. Gen 3 car with a snorkel, mostly found in the west, but can be found in the east and Nairobi. And this one with a tiny snorkel, more centrally and down to Nairobi, but a lot of Gen 3 coverage has been wiped over, so you won't see all of this. This is the Gen 4 car. There is 1001 different metas for whether the car's got tape or dirt or more dirt or less dirt, as to where you are, too advanced. But a couple of things might be worth knowing. The white tape, kind of centrally more so, Nairobi and around that area. Road down to Mombasa, you have this wire, and it says also here as well, you'll see a lot of transportation trucks. I guess this is the main route down into Mombasa, so lots of transport trucks. And down near Mombasa is a lot more kind of white sandy soil, palm trees. It will feel a little bit more coastal. Far west of the country around Kisumu is agriculture. This is kind of the more humid area and more hilly area. A few other bits and pieces to look at and some unique cars for national parks and things like that. Lots of roads, specific road things, not worth knowing. How many spots of dirt, which road are we? Nairobi, obviously capital city, big place. You're going to see skyscrapers. It's going to be a lot more developed and densely populated. Kilimanjaro, you will see down here in the south. In Homa Bay, there's this weird triangle pyramid hill thing, so you might see that. And that is probably about everything that's worth knowing for Kenya. Go make bad choices.